Hey, welcome back to the World Grace Project. I realized that my tomato reservoir was empty, which means we got to mix some nutrients. So I'm going to show you a little bit about my setup. It's actually a recycled build. So I have a 55-gallon drum, and we're covering, just to keep debris out, with this rainwater top, which actually we haven't had a lot of rain, and so we haven't had a lot of extra rain added to the reservoir. But I'm going to pull this off so you can see what's in here. And okay, over here you're going to see we have a line and a bunny. Right here we have a female union valve, and so this is so that I'm able to unhook this. Without that, I would not be able to do any washing or cleaning of this. There's also right back here a shutoff, and so I can turn that off and on if I did have any solution left in there that I didn't want to have spill on me. As I open this, I could shut that off, but right now I don't have anything there, so I'm not going to worry about it. And so the bucket is just sitting here. I'm going to have to pull it down, and we're going to hose it out. That's it. You got it, kiddo. So before I start filling this up with water, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn that valve that I was talking about, I'm going to turn that off so that I don't lose water while I'm mixing, because then I would just be watering my hydroponic plants and I want them to have some food. So turn that off quick. So this is a 55-gallon drum. I am not going to mix the entire solution at this point because my plants' needs seem to be changing a lot. I like to go ahead and have it empty out and then just put fresh nutrient in every 3 weeks or so. So start filling this up, and we'll take it to about halfway, and then we'll start mixing our solution. Can you say hi? You could take a bath in there, you know. So here you can see my wild tomato plants. It's been kind of a, I would say, fair to middling year for my tomatoes. We've had a lot of whitefly, and I've been trying to control those, and as much as I don't think they're going to hurt the plants, I am seeing quite a bit of damage from the whitefly. So I've continually used like a soap and oil spray, which seems to do fairly well on my whitefly. We're also have been having a bit of calcium deficiency, and I'll try to pop an image in and show you how I know about that. And so I've added a little bit of CalMeg to my solution, to my previous solution. Now my plants are all about the same size. I actually had one that was larger here, and it's got a very long vine on it. And just having the two different plant sizes in the system was making it really difficult for me to get the correct nutrient solution. I'm hoping now, with our next mix that we're doing, that that's not going to be an issue. We're going to mix it for full strength, large tomatoes, and I think we'll do well at this point. So let's just take a look at what I'm using. Right now, I'm using Botanicare CNS Ripe. What I really love about these nutrients is they have a full chart that shows, and I'll pop in a larger image so you can see, it shows the growth and which nutrient you need to use for each stage of growth. So obviously we have fruit on our plants. We're going to use the ripe solution. And the other thing I like to add to that is this HydroGuard. The HydroGuard adds some really good bacteria to your water that sort of mimics what soil would actually be like, and it can help prevent some of the root rot and things that can take over your system really quickly. Also, for us here with our water, I'm always using pH down. You're going to find your water might have a different up or down needs, but I always mix the nutrient first and then I add this. The last tool that I use are my meters, both a pH and an EC meter, and we'll go ahead and do some readings with those so you can see how that works. And it looks like I have quite enough water here at this point. And again, depending on the rain, this will easily last the tomatoes 3 to 4 weeks. I'll have to do a mid-grow check on that just to see how the nutrient comes out. So I've done some calculations, but I've sort of calculated we're going to need about 2.5 cups for 25 gallons. And so we're going to start, and again, I guess this is a cook in the kitchen thing. I'm going to throw some in there, and we're going to do some mixing, and then we're going to do some reading. So let's just start by putting at least a cup in there. A stir steak, not a stir stick. The nice thing about the liquid nutrients is they do dissolve really quickly. I also use some powdered nutrient, which works okay, but I've also found that it takes a little longer to get it to dissolve, or I need to mix it in hot water and add it to the cool water to thin it out. Just to let you know, our EC on our water to start is around 400 or 500. So I'm going to grab my EC meter, and we'll just try to see if we can. So right now it's reading right around 1,000, and for tomato I want to get, which is equivalent to 1.0, we want to get to about 2,200 for this, and so I need about the same amount I just put in. I feel like a witch. I'm making witch's brew. Little witch's cauldron. Alright, we're at 1,800. We're getting really close. The other thing I would say is after a nutrient change, you always want to watch your plants. In the next 24 hours, if I see any significant changes to my plants, I'm going to know that it's probably caused by this nutrient change. So changes could be curling in the leaves, or even some leaf spotting or edge die-off on the leaves. So just keep an eye on your plants, and they'll tell you if they're happy or not. Alright, let's try this one more time. Okay, we're at 2,400 to 2,500. Now, as the water moves and we add our pH down, what I'll do is I'll be testing this the next couple days as well. And then we'll also test it down below, just to make sure that it's not more concentrated than I thought and that it mixed up well. Now, so next I'm going to add our HydroGuard. I've estimated about 1/4 cup for this. Anything is better than nothing when it comes to the HydroGuard. And so far I haven't, knock on wood, I haven't had any root rot problems with this crop. Only whitefly. So only one problem at a time. Hi, Bunny. Alright, as soon as this is mixed up, we're going to give our pH a test, because we want our pH to be around 6 to 6.2, maybe no more than 6.5. Reading 6.2, but now I'm down to 5.9, so I'm probably going to give it another stir and read that again. And if that's the case, I'm definitely not going to add any pH down to this solution. It tends to go up pretty quickly in the first couple days for me, for our water source. So I often am doing a check within 2 days anyway, and I'm guessing it'll be just right. Now it's really holding down to 5.75. I'm actually quite surprised. It's a smidge on the low side, but I'm not going to adjust that. I'm going to go ahead and deploy it out into my plants, and I'm going to make an educated guess based off of what has happened before that this will go up to a perfect range within about 24 hours. And so we can do an update on that and give it a check. But, so for now, the next thing I need to do is open my valve here on the side. It'll be slow You can actually see the bubbles gurgling right now. It's filling up my gutter trough down at the bottom. It might take a while, so we'll let that we'll let that go, and then we can come back over here and give a check and make sure that the whole gutter has filled up. It actually was completely empty at this point. So right down here is my float valve, and I can already see water coming in, which is good. I've been checking my plants and my substrate, and it's been plenty wet, so I'm not too worried about that. Okay, it looks like my rail is filling up nicely. It'll probably take about an hour to completely fill, and then I'm going to go ahead and do another check right down here with my pH and EC meters just to see what I'm reading down below. Thanks for stopping by today. Feel free to check out our website at www.worldgraceproject.org.
There, everybody. Whoa, right there. I see you.
The bunny approves this message.